Hey everyone, I gotta share this crazy story that happened to me when I was working at this new company in London. It's totally real, and it's been giving me the creeps ever since. So, grab your snacks and listen up. I got this job at a new company, and everything seemed pretty normal at first. You know, the usual office stuff, cubicles, deadlines, and coffee breaks. My boss, Mr. Harris, he was an older guy, probably in his 50s. He was friendly enough at the beginning, nothing out of the ordinary. But things started getting weird real slow, like I noticed Mr. Harris hanging around my desk more often, asking personal questions that didn't really have anything to do with work. He'd be like, "Hey, do you live around here? What's your favorite place to go to on weekends?" I thought he was just trying to be friendly, but it felt kind of off. Then came the following part. Every day after work, I noticed Mr. Harris would leave the office right behind me. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but it started happening way too often to be random. He'd always keep his distance, pretending to be on his phone or something, but I could feel his eyes on me. I got this gut feeling that something was not right, you know? So, one day, I decided to take a different route home, just to see if he'd still follow me. And guess what? He did. I couldn't believe it. This dude was tailing me like I was some secret agent or something. I started feeling really uncomfortable at work. Mr. Harris would constantly drop by my desk, even when he had no business there. He'd make weird comments like, "You're such a smart and beautiful young woman. Any man would be lucky to have you." I mean, seriously, who talks like that to their employee? One evening after work, Mr. Harris approached me outside the office building. He straight up asked me where I lived. I was like, "Dude, that's none of your business." He didn't seem to get the hint and kept insisting. I finally had to tell him off and walk away. Things only got worse from there. Mr. Harris started texting me, even though I never gave him my number. I figured he must have gotten it from the company records or something. His messages were just creepy. He'd say things like, "I know you better than you think," and "We're meant to be together." It made my skin crawl. I decided to confront him at the office, told him straight up that I was not interested and that he needed to back off. That's when things went from creepy to downright scary. He got all angry and started yelling at me, saying I was leading him on. It was like he'd turned into a completely different person. I couldn't take it anymore. I reported him to HR, but they didn't seem to take it seriously at first. They thought it was just a workplace disagreement, but I knew better. I started keeping records of all the texts, the times he followed me, and the weird comments he made. I needed proof. Finally, HR decided to investigate, and they found out I wasn't the only one he'd been harassing. There were other women in the office who had similar experiences. It turned out Mr. Harris had a history of this kind of behavior. Long story short, he got fired from the company, and I finally felt safe again. But let me tell you, it was one heck of a scary ride, and I hope I never have to go through something like that again.